Okay, we should be live on YouTube. Mr. Mosen, I see your little dance there.
Yeah, well, I always wanted to be on YouTube.
And now you are. All right, are you seeing my morning coffee slides now? All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Coffee. It is Wednesday, the 7th of April already. And it's a beautiful, cold, crisp Alaska spring morning out there. I am your host, Principal Adam Okelke, and with me, as always, is my trusty administrative assistant sidekick. If I was the pilot in command, she'd be in the right seat. Mrs. Beyondich, co-pilot of STrEaM Academy and Morning Coffee. Good morning, Sylvia. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Principal Mokelke. I'm doing fabulously. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah, it is. We have a good morning coffee planned. I'm excited about the day for sure. Anchorage STrEaM Academy empowers students to be involved learners, critical thinkers, and engaged citizens who are inspired by the natural world, which is a natural bridge into our land acknowledgement, the inspiration from the natural world, because Anchorage and our surrounding areas have been home to Dena'ina Athabascan people for over 1,000 years. And we are honored and privileged to live and work and teach and walk the lands that have been and continue to be the traditional lands of Dena'ina Athabascan people. We teach our students to be stewards of the environment. It's an important part of our mission and vision at STrEaM. And in that way, we continue the tradition of honoring and respecting the lands that we're privileged to be on. So thank you. The agenda for today will share upcoming events and important things that are happening at STrEaM. The highlight of today for sure is Mr. Mosen, Mr. Perkins are with us. They're going to talk about what's happening in their 7th grade cohort and share the awesome things that they're doing. Some really cool things happening there. And if you'd like, Mr. Perkins, if you have time, you could also maybe just tell us a little bit about this new grant we've got and some of the equipment and that's showing up, because that's an exciting preview for next year. We'll hear from our counselor and hear from Mr. Holsopple, who's helping us to coordinate health and safety and COVID response things here at STrEaM. Give us a little update. We'll hear from our nonprofit STrEaM Anchorage 501c3 and probably check in with Mr. Mosen again about ski team and Mr. Perkins. We've got our 2 ski coaches here as well. And whatever else happens to pop up. Parents, if you have questions, Mrs. Beyondich monitors them on YouTube and on the chat, on the Zoom. You could even probably send an email or shoot us a message. If there's something you wanted us to talk about or address on Morning Coffee. Upcoming dates to remember. You don't have to remember that on the 7th, Mr. Mosen and Mr. Perkin are presenting because that's happening right now. Tonight, though, we have our annual meeting. The nonprofit, STrEaM Anchorage nonprofit, has their annual meeting, which you are invited to attend. Just reach out to Ms. Beyondich and get the information if you'd like to attend that meeting. So that's exciting. We are still in the midst of peaks testing. Mr. Holsopple did a little dance in my office yesterday because 7th grade is done. 7th grade has completed peaks testing. And Mr. Perkins is pleased about that as well. I'm sure. I see 6th grade will take their last peaks test tomorrow. They'll do the math and they'll be done. 8th grade has 3 tests because they also do the science test. And so they have one more to do on Monday. Next week, we have 6th grade, half of our 6th grade team, Ms. Kodelman and Ms. Gable, they'll be presenting. And next week on Wednesday, the 14th, we also have our monthly APC meeting. So information will be going out about that. You're invited to attend that on Zoom or YouTube as well. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. There is no school on Friday, the 16th of April for STrEAM Academy only. And so please help spread the word and get that on your calendars and write that down, because that's only us. The rest of Anchorage School District has school. The reason is, in our lease agreement with Wayland Baptist University, since we started here 5 years ago, we have a clause in our lease that says we will not occupy the facility, staff or students. We will not occupy this facility 2 days a year that are extra. And that is for the fall and the spring graduation for Wayland Baptist. So their graduation might look a little different because of Corona, COVID, and so forth. However, our calendar gets approved by the district and the state a year in advance. So we can't really go back in and change those dates a whole lot. So we will not have school on the 16th due to the annual spring graduation. And this is the same every year. We have a last second Friday in October, second Friday in April, roughly every year. So please note that. The week of the 26th of April, we have a Spirit Week coming up. We'll have more to share about that. And then I added this one on just recently to dates to remember, upcoming dates. The 20th of May, the last day of school. It's coming right around the corner. Quick plug that today is a working Wednesday. It's a virtual working day. Students are at home and teachers are here teaching on Zoom from the building, but it is a school day. It's expected and required that students log on to their Zoom classes. They teachers are taking attendance and sharing important information. So please make sure students follow their Zoom schedule, log on to their classes today. They do first what teachers have assigned them in their classes, and then also can spend some time on iReady, on Alex, working on projects that they're doing for their classes, homework, reading. But it is a school day today. It's just a virtual school day. Ms. Beyondich, do you want to give an update from the 501c3?
Absolutely. The 501c3 annual meeting is tonight at 7. I'm sorry, we're going to be done by 7. It's at 5:30. We're going to meet at 5 o'clock. We're going to open up the Zoom at about 4:50 for a little bit of socialization. At 5 o'clock, we're going to go into a quick work session to handle any changes to the agenda that we've discovered need to be made. And then at 5:30, we're going to call to order. The meeting should last about 65 minutes. There's no one scheduled for any public testimony, but this big annual meeting is important because our current chair on the board of directors, her term expires. So Whitney Diatry has served the 2 maximum terms on the 501c3, and her term expires today. And so she will be off and there'll be new board members elected. The 501c3 can have between 3 and 9 directors on the board. And we have 4 currently on. One of them is leaving tonight and 2 more are slated to come on. And then we're trying to encourage some more participation. So if you're interested in serving on the board of directors, we would be happy to chat with you today. To get a link to the meeting, just call the school and I will shoot you an email with the link to the meeting in it. Jen, did I cover everything, do you think?
Yeah, just to let everybody know, because we're, we do the APC meetings on YouTube and things like that because of the, what's it called, the Public Whatever Act. We're a private organization, so we don't do that. And but anyone is welcome to come to any of our meetings. And we would appreciate any kind of input at all. You don't have to make a commitment. Like you could just show up to a meeting just to check us out. We're not requiring any kind of commitment. We just want people to learn more about us so that maybe in the future you'd like to be involved in some way, shape, or form. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to commit to a 3-year term on the board of directors. If you just want to come and check us out, learn more about us, we would love to have you. We will be recording the meeting and posting that on our website. The 501c3 website is linked to Anchorage STrEAM Academy's website. And so if you need to get that, you go to Anchorage STrEAM Academy's website. You go to the About channel at the top, the drop down. Well, the third drop down is the 501c3, and that will take you directly to the nonprofit's website that supports Anchorage STrEAM Academy. Thank you so much for everybody that helped us with PETA's for a Purpose. We were the top grossing charity this year for PETA's for a Purpose, and that netted us a little over $500 into the bank account. So we appreciate all the support that everyone gave Anchorage STrEAM Academy through STREAM Anchorage 501c3.
So wait a second. You all, STREAM community, STREAM family, STREAM supporters, you all went and spent $5,000 on PETA's?
Yes, they did.
That's what that means. What a wonderful community we have. Wow. The STREAM family out there went and dropped $5,000 on PETA's last Sunday. If we got $500 back, that's pretty impressive, STREAM family. Thank you for rallying around us. And
we definitely
that's a lot of PETA's. That's a lot of PETA's.
The Tacotney PETA pit manager, whom I know very well, reported to me that when he got into work on Monday, there was no stock left. He had to do an emergency stock order.
Yes, the STREAM community is awesome. We wiped out PETA Pit. We wiped their stock clean. That's the best. That's so awesome. Tell us a little bit real quick about, hey, nice coffee mug, Miss Beyondich. What do you got on there? Tell us a little bit about this basket auction, because I'm super excited, one, to put together the admin team basket, the charcuterie basket. But two, I'm excited. There's no rule that says I can't be the top bidder and win all the baskets I want. So I'm excited to get a couple of the baskets that some of our teams are putting together. I've got my eye on a couple of them that I'm planning on outbidding y'all for. So tell us a little bit about these baskets.
Oh, you can bid on as many as you want, Principal Mo Kelke.
I might get them all. I might just take them all.
We have a fabulous community support for this as well. We have our 6 cohorts are designing and putting together a basket each. Plus, we have at least 10 and maybe more baskets coming from the community, from donations that actually started last spring. Because last spring we had in the plans to have a silent auction at our end of the year showcase, and it had to be canceled due to health concerns and COVID response. And so we had a bunch of supplies here in the building. Those supplies that were donated are being assembled into baskets. We have other baskets that have been donated by the community and that have been pledged. We have a florist who is creating some beautiful floral arrangements that are going to be up for bid. We have a car wash basket that's been donated, a fabulous easel, easel that is made in, it's a easel that folds up, but also has drawers and stuff in it that is full of art supplies that's been donated. We're excited about the charcuterie basket from our admin team. But we're equally excited by the master barbecue basket that's being donated. And we have one of the cohorts is doing a family night basket, and there's pizza and a movie basket. And these aren't necessarily things that are in baskets. They're in very creative containers. The car wash kit is in a bucket with all of this car wash stuff in it. So I
want all of the baskets. I
know there's going to be some great ones. We're working with
the Grip Master basket. I think I'm going to have that. That's going to have to be mine.
Well, you're going to have to outbid a couple other people. We're working with some online auctioneers right now to find what the final platform is going to look like, and we're going to be discussing that at the 501 annual meeting tonight. So we'll know more about what that platform looks like. All baskets should be delivered into the school by April 15th, so that April 15th, our family partners are picking them up and going to assemble them and inventory them so that we can get a value on the baskets. And then the baskets will come back to us on that Monday or Tuesday, the 19th or 20th, Then the photographer will take pictures of them and get them to the auctioneer. We registered through the state, so everything's nice and legal. We have some great advisor on our 501 that's coming onto our board of directors that knows all about this stuff. So it's gonna be a great auction. We're super excited about this and how the 501 can then further support Anchorage STrEAM Academy, not only in cross-country ski gear and grants to teachers, but also in the future hopes of a facility.
That is awesome. I'm excited. So do you think we'll just have a link basically on the day of the auction on the 30th? We'll send out a link and it just will say, go to this link and enter your bid. Is that how that's probably going to work? Okay.
Yeah, we'll be doing some advertisements through Facebook as well. We'll be sending out stuff on Blackboard on how to share the link to where the virtual auction site actually is. There's a Facebook event already posted on Facebook. So you'll be able to access information if you use Facebook through that platform as well. And then the final event, it's going to be in 2 waves. The first wave will be the community baskets that have been donated. The second wave will be the baskets made by our cohorts, those 6 baskets. Those 6 cohort baskets are going to be competing against the number of bids they get, so that one of the cohorts will win a party, a COVID-friendly party at the end of the year. So,
which we would gladly entertain suggestions from the staff of what that party could or should look like. We have some ideas of our own, but if you want to email me, if you have an idea of what would be a really cool cohort party for the winning cohort, we would love to entertain those ideas from staff.
And Jen Mickelson has an ASD email address. So for all of you familiar with the ASD email format, it's pretty easy. Well, thank you so much. That's super exciting. I can't wait to see the baskets get put together and then to start bidding on them on the 30th. So it's going to be exciting. And I think maybe Mr. Mosen and Mr. Perkins might give us a little preview about what their basket's about. Because up now we have half of our 7th grade team, our language arts, social studies side of the cohort, Mr. Perkins and Mr. Mosen. They're going to give you an update on what's happening in 7th grade, and maybe tell us about skiing, because they're also our ski coaches. Maybe tell us about a basket, all kinds of stuff they could tell us about. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning. If I could share my screen, we could maybe give some interesting pictures on the Zoom screen. Let's see, this was okay.
You are a co-host.
So I'm Mr. Mosen, and together with Mr. Perkins, we represent half of the teachers for 7th grade. 7th graders occupy the entire upstairs of Wayland Baptist, and our lives are shaped by the realities of the coronavirus, and we maintain a focus on health and safety foremost, and work with our other all the teachers upstairs and throughout the building to maneuver this really interesting time. To speak to what we were just talking about, the fundraisers, we are working to get kids outside. We find that during the pandemic, there's a lot of opportunities to get kids outside and spaced out so that it feels safe. And we experimented with the skiing, and I do think that a lot of our students would participate more if we had more gear. So we're really excited about this influx of money that we could spend some of that on gear for kids to get outside. So that's super exciting. We've had huge turnout, lots of parent involvement. This has been an unusual year, of course, for the COVID, but equally, it's been one of the best ski seasons in the last 20 years. We've had about 120 days in a row of good skiing. Hopefully, I didn't just jinx it, but it's been Mr. Perkins and I have been out about 110 of those. So we've been really fortunate, and a lot of those days with students. We teach two disciplines, language arts and social studies, while Mr. Beer and Mr. Holsop will teach math and science. So the seventh graders get their 4 main disciplines covered by those 4 teachers. And as you know, they're separated, so we don't have too much moving from rooms in the COVID world. So we're doing 1 quarter language arts and social studies and 1 quarter of math and science. So Mr. Perkins and I do language arts. Let's see if I can go to the next slide. And for my group, we've been reading novels, starting with 2 Old Women, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to go out to our park and look at the realities of being in Alaskan landscape, living outdoors. We've seen the squirrels and rabbits that the characters have been chasing down. We've seen why they had to make snowshoes. We've experienced firsthand why the cold of the Alaska landscape dictates how people live their lives. It's been really a good season to read this book, and it's great to be back in person. And in social studies, the focus has been on geography. Mr. Perkins doesn't mind if I speak for him, but if you want to speak up.
Yeah, sure. First, the goal for 7th grade geography this year is to be engaged citizens. And so first semester or first quarter, we did a big focus on civics and government and how that works and how our students could eventually take part in being involved in government. One thing I noticed, especially being in Alaska, when we talk about Washington, D.C. or Boston or, East Coast, where a lot of U.S. history started, there is a little bit of confusion on where those places are. So we wanted to focus on geography. I've a quote that I live by is, you have to know where you are to know where you are going. You can use that either literally or metaphorically. So for now, we're using it literally. So it's important for students to know the layout of the United States and how the states are connected and what's next to them and north, south, east, and west of them, and how history and commerce are all affected by location. So students are going to be focusing on where they are and how they impact their environment around them. And it's been a joy. The students seem to really enjoy. They are impressing themselves with how much they can learn quickly about the places that we live in.
So we thought we'd add to the coffee aspect of this meeting by giving you a little competitive challenge. If you know how to play Kahoot, we don't want to take too much time, but we have a really quick Kahoot to test your.
No, we could take all the time you want. This is the first time somebody has done a Kahoot on morning coffee, and I'm pumped about that. I didn't know you guys were doing this. This is awesome.
Well, this is not, this is similar to, the NCAA basketball tournament, but the way it works is you sign in once you get this code. Right here, you go to kahoot.it, and then it says go to www.kahoot.it, and then go to this game pin.
All right, I'm in. I'm ready.
El Jefe is in. Mr. J is in.
And if there's folks watching on YouTube, you can access this just the same.
Oh, all right. We've got some players. Science nerd is there. Beyondy's there. I wonder who science nerd is. Okay. Let's see. We have 8. I think we will start in 30 seconds. So enjoy the background.
I'm so excited.
This is how we wake kids up sometimes. Okay, you guys, we're going to start and let's see who knows some of their capitals and states. Okay. All right, it's a little easy. I know.
There's a speed element. The quicker you answer the question, the more points you get.
All right, we have 100. Ooh, let's see. We have AK, LFA, STrEAM, Science Nerd, Mr. J. Okay, let's see how you guys do on this next one. What is the capital of Oregon? All right, we have some geography nerds here. But who's the fastest geography nerd? AK. Okay, here we go. What is the capital of Tennessee? Nashville. Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh, Kind Pony 98 making a move. What is the capital of Florida? Harrisburg, Des Moines, Columbia, or Tallahassee? And Mr. J moving up. AK is on fire. What is the capital of Maine? Augusta, Sacramento, Madison, or Boise? Augusta. It's a long ways away from Alaska. Kind Pony 98 moving up. El Jefe is moving down. Beyonde is moving up and on fire. Okay, here we go. What is the capital of Delaware? Or I should have said, can you locate Delaware on a map? Oops, sorry. And Kind Pony 98 moves into the lead. Nicely done. El Jefe is on fire. What is the capital of Arizona? Indianapolis, Frankfurt, Jefferson City, or Phoenix? Okay, and Beyondy trying to catch Kind Pony. It's very close. Wow, we have a spread of, let's see, 95, 52. Only 3 points between Mr. J and Beyondy. And El Jefe is scrambling to get up there into the podium. All right, watch it here. What is the capital of Texas? St. Paul, Albany, Austin, or Salt Lake City? If you said Salt Lake City, anyway, no one did. Okay.
You guys are so fast. Gosh.
Yeah, these are people that play a lot of video games. Kind Pony 98. And all right, we are, Efe, if you want to get on the podium, you're really going to have to jump on it. Here we go. Number 9, what is the capital of Iowa? What is Iowa? Okay, let's see. Lansing, Des Moines, Honolulu, or Denver? Okay, here we go. Last one. It looks like Kind Pony, Mr. J, and Beyondy right now are the podium standards. Here we go. Brace yourselves. El Jefe has the highest answer streak of 9. Okay, you could sit on those laurels. Here we go. 10. What is the capital of Mississippi? Jackson, Topeka, Augusta, or Olympia spelled in a funny way. Jackson. Yeah, you know that Johnny Cash song, sings with June Carter, I'm going to Jackson.
Going to Jackson.
Yeah. Okay. For the podium, here we go. Brace yourselves. There's a lot of bets on this one. Number 3, Biondi. Number 2, Mr. J. Kind Pony 98 takes it. Okay, there'll be high choose.
Good. Because I got all of them right, and I was like fast as I could click, and I still couldn't keep up with you guys. That was awesome. Good job.
I think a lot of kids would say, "Welcome to my world."
That was great.
Okay, let me go back to our slide. Okay, so we teach language arts and social studies, but along with that, we have created a mission vision curriculum, which has been supported by our fine administration, and it's evolved into a really cool class, which well, there's our mission, which we have been instructed to enhance or just support and teach to. Anchorage STrEAM Academy empowers students to be involved learners, critical thinkers, engaged citizens inspired by the natural world. And Mr. Perkins and I have focused on STEM career investigations, along with our goal of getting our students away from the screen and actually working with their hands a little bit more, because we noted, all of the 7th grade teachers have noted that the students have been on the Zoom, on the computers a lot, maybe too much. So in this picture, we have this Cartesian diver, which is a science project that we built this last week. And then there's some drawings. This is not one of our students' drawings. This is MC Escher, but he inspires us. So in getting away from our computers, we've been teaching some perspective drawings, moving them or letting the students know that if they want to be an engineer or an architect, that drawing can be a big part of that career. These are some of our students drawing their names, or well, actually, they also did some landscapes, which we don't have here, but these are all letters. You can see enhancing them with 1-point perspective drawing. We just started a part where we're doing 2-point perspective drawing, adding a 3rd dimension to the drawing process. And we did all the ones in the pictures that are boxes we did yesterday, all in one day. It was after testing, it was a test recuperation activity. And then we've had a series so far of 7 speakers coming in. And this quarter, and we've had April Lynott, who works for NASA and talked a lot about careers in aerospace. And then last Friday, we had Danelle Hogan, who talked to us a lot about STEM careers, but also drove home this concept that we need to question everything and not be fooled by people saying that this is magic and there's no explanation, because through rigor and curiosity, we can find the science that explains the workings of our world. And that was a really great lesson. Another one of our speakers was Grant Crosby. He's these 2 women here, by the way, were connected to us through Scott Cleaver, who worked with them in Washington, D.C. and knew what we were doing and sent them our way. So we really appreciate that. And this is a friend of mine who does work up in Kennecott, Alaska, and also around the state of Alaska, preserving or bringing back to life old historic structures. And the kids, I think, really learned a lot about Alaska geography, history, and started, thinking about, wow, one of the realities of preserving history is looking at the structures we built over the past and making efforts to save them when it's appropriate. So that is the MOPERC presentation for today. Love to take some questions. Mr. Perkins will answer any question you have.
Thank you guys. That was awesome. Really good job. Who was the winner? Who was the pony name? Is anyone going to tell us who that was? Oh, it was Miss Boner. It's our counselor. Good job. Good job. I'd say a new level has been established for what we expect now from cohort presentations. Holsopel's on here, saw this happen, and Goodman's on here. She saw 7th grade language arts social studies team bringing it with a Kahoot on their cohort presentation. Some high level stuff. All right, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Do you want to talk about skiing now, or do you guys want me to switch gears, give you a break, and we can come back and talk about skiing here a little bit later?
Sadly, I have this, I'm always ready to talk about skiing. So I'm happy to, I'll just jump in and say that we had 29 people sign up this quarter. I think, I think people are getting busier, and Ski Club 2.0 is going great. Conditions are super challenging right now. We're expecting a little bit of snow in the next few days. And I really think that it's obvious that the influx of some ski gear will make us have a really powerful program. And Mr. Perkins and I are just wondering what's going to happen next year during the ski race season, because some of our students just have so much time on skis that we see them getting really fast. So we're excited about that, on the competitive end of things. Mr. Perkins, anything else about skiing?
On the opposite side, with ski club, not ski team, there's no competition at the moment. And it's just been a real joy to see kids just show up and socialize outside of school. And, we see them improve immensely over the last few months here, really, if they've done both ski clubs. It's just really fun to see kids that have never been put on skis, and then they can ski for 4 miles and not have to stop and catch their breath and make new friends. It's just a really fun way to see students in a different light. And, we've got to learn a bunch of new names, and they're all wearing masks. So we don't know really who they are or what they look like, but they're all good kids, and they've been fun to hang out with. So it's been a joy, and I'm excited for next year.
So when do they return their ski gear that they've borrowed from us?
April 15th is our last ski practice. I'll throw them in my car if that's what it takes. They can just leave them with us, and then the ones that have it, I have that great list that you helped me make that has everyone's name on it and their social security number, or no, their student ID and the date and what gear they have. So we'll get back what we have, and I'm amazed that we've made it work, because it's very well used gear, and but they're just going for it.
Yeah, we should put a plug out there. If anybody has outgrown their ski gear that a future student could use, we will take donations and even give you a tax write-off form.
Yes, definitely. We have had a lot of generous donations of ski gear for the last couple of years to get this program up and running, and purchase some ski gear. And then, of course, some students come with their own, but it's been really nice to be able to outfit some of our students that don't have ski equipment and are trying this for the first time. It's really cool to be able to outfit them and get them going. So definitely we want to continue that building up that equipment stockpile. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mosen and Mr. Perkins, for your awesome presentation. And that was really cool. Next, I want to give a minute to say good morning to our counselor, Ms. Bonerts. Good morning, Amy. How we doing?
Good morning. I'm doing really well after my solid win. Although I did not put Kind Pony. When I typed in Miss Bonerts, it just popped up Kind Pony 98. So I blame either Perkins or Mosen for that little faux pas. So thank you. Yes, it is a wonderful morning. Last week we started peaks testing. Next week, Monday, we'll finish peaks testing. We're very excited. Tomorrow is the last day for 6th grade. Monday is the last day for 8th grade. They'll be taking their science test. The other thing, last week we had 8th graders saw East High and Bartlett High counselors. So they were able to get a little info from them, meet their counselors for next year, which is really super important. And then they started picking their elective classes for high school. If you are an 8th grade parent, please make sure that your student chooses about 6 electives that they would be interested in doing next year. If they pick maybe just 2 or 3, freshmen are on the bottom of the totem pole. So if everybody wants to do basketball and your kid wants to do basketball and the classes get filled, they might just get bumped to soccer or volleyball or something like that. So they ask that they pick 6. So make sure they do that. And the deadline for freshmen to be able to register for their electives is April 9th. April 9th, which is Friday? Yes, it's this Friday. So make sure that your student is doing that. I can help them with that, especially if they're going to their zone school. If they are going to a different school, you're going to want to call that school and they can help them register for those electives. But I am happy to help. The students are able to do it on Student Connect. And I found that actually a lot of students had already done it because it's so easy. So if you need help, let me know. If your student needs help, let me know. I'm happy to help them do that by this Friday to choose their electives. And if they have questions on what electives are what, I can also help with that. Other than that, starting next week, I'm going to be meeting a lot more of our students that are new this year. I'm trying to build that relationship, that face-to-face relationship. It's really been exciting getting faces to names these last couple of weeks. So it's been really cool making those connections with those kids. So that's on the top of my agenda as soon as peaks testing wraps up. But other than that, things are going really good. And yeah, it's cold. Warm up outside.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Bonerts. Appreciate that. Ms. Beyondich?
We should make a point of saying that if you have moved sometime during the year and not told us, we do need to have, especially our 8th graders, we need to have the right address for you. Your address, unless you've lottered into a special program, your address dictates the school that you go to. So if you've changed your address, you do need to call and make sure that we've updated your address and that we've updated your future track for which school you're going to go to. If you're in 8th grade, if you're in 6th or 7th grade, you're going to come back to us. We do want your right address, but we don't have to worry about zoning for that.
Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you, Ms. Beyondich. Thank you, Ms. Bonerts. Thank you, Ms. Bonerts, and thank you, Ms. Beyondich. Appreciate the updates. I want to take a minute next to touch base on health and safety. So we asked Mr. Holsopple this year to take on a little extra work to help Ms. Beyondich and I coordinate health and safety and COVID planning and response, help coordinate our health and safety plan. He has a background as a science teacher and a lot of medically related work in his background, so is a good fit for this, and has done some good presentations for us on different aspects during the pandemic, different aspects of health and safety. We don't have a school nurse, so that has been a pronounced thing here during the pandemic, that a lot of the information and coordination of these things goes directly through the nurses. So we got ourselves on the school nurse mailing lists and listservs, as well as Mr. Holsopple, and we just want to make sure we're on top of everything. So I wanted to give Mr. Holsopple a chance just to give a quick update. We did have our first confirmed person at STrEAM Academy, first confirmed COVID case. And so we were able to go through the responses that we've practiced and prepared for. So parents all got a letter, a notification. We were able to, because of our protocols, because our teachers have kept things really tight and followed our protocols, we were able to identify a very limited, very, very small group of people who would be considered close contacts, and notified them and asked them to quarantine and go get a test and make sure they're okay. So it was a good run through and practice of the things we've been preparing for, and it worked out pretty well. Mr. Holsopple, do you want to give us an update, or is there anything you'd like to share regarding a health and safety plan and our COVID response protocols?
Updates, I think everyone is following the news pretty closely. I think the encouraging thing to share, because we have to stay positive, is that there are a lot of vaccinations being given, and that is going to bring the end of this pandemic closer. We just need to keep encouraging people to find the time to go roll up their sleeves and get that vaccine. I think I saw a statistic from the CDC that said 80% of teachers or educators are fully vaccinated at this point across the entire US, which is a huge step in the right direction towards getting our kids back into school and achieving some semblance of normalcy. I also have looked at some of the ongoing studies in pediatric patients, so age 12 to 18, and then even down to 6 to 12-year-olds in terms of the vaccine. And it seems pretty promising, or pretty likely, that there will be some form of vaccine available for middle school students, even upper elementary school students, by the start of next school year, which would be another ginormous leap forward in achieving a semblance of normalcy at school, and the easing of some of these protocols and procedures that we've developed as part of our health and safety plan. So that's really exciting. Of course, with that exciting stuff comes there's the logistics of getting all of these vaccines administered and getting them out to people, and that's all a work in progress. And I think the summer months of getting kids out and about, and it'll be interesting to see what the end of this summer and the beginning of this fall look like for our students. But that's all I have for updates. Focus areas, I know Mr. McCulkey wanted me to talk a little bit about focus areas. The idea, or the key point behind our health and safety plan, is that our kids don't breathe the air of someone else. We know that this is an aerosolized virus. We know that the safest thing to do is to keep our air to ourselves and to promote the breathing of fresh air, which is one of the reasons why we go outside every day. It's just a safer environment. So we are emphasizing mask wearing. That is a key thing, not just a buff, that's not going to cut it. Valves in a mask, that's not going to cut it, but legitimate masks. I was talking to Mr. McCulkey, I have a Darth Vader mask here that I wear. It's easy to put on and off. Just slip it over the head. But your kids, please emphasize that the only time they get to take their mask off is if they are outside and eating, and then they have to be 6 feet apart. What we are seeing as teachers is that it's really hard to keep the kids apart when they take their mask off outside to eat. And if we can get your help, parents, to remind your kids that when their mask is off, they are generating droplets that could potentially be infectious, and we would really like to keep our kids safe. The medium and long-term impacts of COVID infection in pediatric patients are only just now becoming known, and a lot of it has to do with development of potentially lifelong psychoses or neurologic disorders, and we do not want your kids to have that. We are doing our best to keep our kids apart and keep them safe. And we need your help to remind them, constantly remind them that they need to stay away from each other when their masks are off. Even when their masks are on, we are 3 feet apart, but when their masks are off and eating, they need to be at least 6 feet apart. And that is why we are only allowing them to eat outside, which is promoting that big safe airflow as well. So please encourage your kids to keep their masks on, to only eat outside. We are enforcing this, but it's hard. It's hard for us to do that. Kids want to be together, and that's really exciting. They want to be together. They want to be social. So please, parents, please remind your kids that their health and safety should be #1 priority, and we need your help to remind them of that constantly. Are there any questions? I think I've said what I wanted to say. Is there anything else I need to say, or any questions that I can answer?
Were there anything in the chat, Ms. Beyondich?
No, you're sharing the wrong screen. I think that's the only thing that's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
We do appreciate all the reminders from parents, though. I have to reiterate that with what Mr. Holsapple said. It's very important that we get everybody to help us remind kids to socially distance.
Yeah, it's gone remarkably well. Our teachers put a lot of effort into pre-teaching. The week we came back from spring break, we got a lot of questions. Why aren't you back in school right away coming out of spring break like the neighborhood schools? And that week has been so valuable to us in so many ways that we stayed virtual just that first week of the quarter, because our teachers had a whole induction week planned and implemented that on Zoom. And they went over step by step each day, the protocols we'd follow, the practices for coming into the building, for washing hands in classrooms, for desk shields and distancing and exits and entrances. They went over everything in detail, and even had videos to show them. Mr. Holsapple and Ms. Kodelman created these videos that the teachers were all able to share, showing them different aspects of our plan. So we were really able to take time to pre-teach our protocols and our COVID plan to students before they came into the building. I think that was invaluable. We haven't had issues in the building. I haven't had referrals to my office or really any concerns brought to me by teachers about students not following COVID protocols in classes. Nothing. I can't think of a single referral. I can't think of even a single, so far, teacher asking for my support or sending a student to me because they're having issues in class with their mask. And I expected that. I expected to support teachers and students, and support students who, needed a little bit more help on keeping their mask on and wearing it appropriately. Nothing. And that's a testament to our kids, but really a testament to our staff and their preparedness and their structure and consistency with this. The only place, and what Mr. Holsapple was alluding to a little bit, the only place we've really seen issues and really struggled with student compliance is outside on breaks. And like Mr. Holsapple said, that's natural. They're outside, they're on break. We go outside every day. Each class gets 3 outdoor breaks per day. And they're outside, decompressing from the hard work they're doing in the classroom and getting to run around and play and just socially interact. And they're not doing that in classrooms, which is good. They're not crossing over and interacting and having that in class. They're focused and they're keeping separate. So when they get outside, they can have a snack. We allow them to bring snacks and eat a snack outside. So masks are down and they're eating. And when they're doing that, we really need them to even be more distant and separate, right? And what we're seeing is they want to talk and congregate and play and be close together and also eat their snack. And so the one thing that I am going to work on and focus on more with our students is those protocols outside on break and with snacks. But honestly, just an awesome job so far. Awesome job. And really please the kudos should go to our staff for the work they've done on this. Thank you, Mr. Holsapple. That was a good update. Appreciate that. If you have time, in the coming weeks on morning coffee, and there's anything else you'd want to pop in and add, we'd love to continue that. Just let me know if you're available or not. We're coming up close to the end of morning coffee. Yeah, it's been a great morning coffee. It's been packed. Great presentations and information from our staff. Really cool. I do want to share that the spring lottery closed with great success, best numbers we've ever had in the lottery. Again, that's a testament to our school community, to word of mouth, to the positive things that are happening at our school. And, really, really cool to see our program continue to grow and gain strength here in our 5th year. We have pretty much filled all of the spots we have open for next year. I think we will have room to take a few 6th graders in the next lottery. Right now, there is a waiting list for 7th and 8th grade, and so those rosters look very full and robust. Don't let that be daunting to you if you have a 7th or incoming 7th or 8th grader and you want to put in the lottery. The second lottery is open. Once the spring lottery closes and runs, the fall lottery opens. So the lottery is actually open now, again, the second lottery. And this lottery, the second lottery runs, I believe, in July. And so it's a little bit of a wait. But we definitely will have a few more seats for 6th graders in the second lottery. And we've already got some new applicants. So things look really good. Please do, if you're interested in STrEAM and you missed the first lottery, call us, talk to us, we'll help you out. And please do put in for that second lottery, and there will be some seats available there. I also want to say welcome. If you're a new STrEAM student, new STrEAM parent family coming in next year, welcome to STrEAM Academy. There's a postcard coming your way that says welcome to STrEAM Academy. Your teachers are super excited to meet you. And we're really happy and excited for the incoming class of 21-22. We talked about ski club already. Mr. Mosen, Mr. Perkins, is there skiing today? There is skiing today. Where are you meeting?
Today we're doing a point-to-point. It's a really cool way to see part of the town. We're going to start at the Campbell Airstrip Trailhead, and we're going to finish at the Martin Luther King ball fields. And I sent out a reminder that has those addresses, but if anybody's curious, please text me or send me an email.
Awesome. Point-to-point ski. What time?
3 to 4:15, and then tomorrow we're back at Russian Jack, hopefully with a little bit of fresh snow.
Awesome. 3 to 4:15 today, point-to-point ski. Sounds like a great time. Thank you, Mr. Mosen. All right, with that, we'll begin to wrap up morning coffee for today. I want to thank our 7th grade team, Mr. Perkins, Mr. Mosen, for their awesome presentation. Thank you, Ms. Bonards and Mr. Holsapple, Ms. Beyondich, for sharing today with your updates and information. Really appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who joined us today and everyone who logged on YouTube and on Zoom and came along for the ride on Morning Coffee. It's been Morning Coffee with STrEAM Academy. We're so glad to have you with us today. Close by saying, as always, get outside every day. All right, folks, have a good day. Goodbye.